Chapter 22. My dad let Sarah, who was a person who attended the VFW, drag me to the Baptist church one Sunday because the pianist had gone out of town for a month. I had to practice with their music director and the 8 people who made up the choir. It was a no-brainer, except that I wasn't familiar with much of the gospel music. I actually learned a lot by being there. I learned that people often needed to sing in a different key and that you had to adapt to that. And that when someone was there on guitar or another instrument, they sometimes only knew how to play chords rather than the written music. The musical team seemed very happy with me because I quickly understood and was able to adapt to the way they operated. A big bonus for me was that there was a violinist there who showed me some pointers on the violin. I played Vivaldi Spring from the Four Seasons for him, and he seemed enthused. "It's the easy version," I complained to him. "Play it in E major then," he smiled. "Hey, I could do that." "Look up Canon in D too. That would be a snap for you to play." Wow, I was thinking I'd just do that. I was riding along to the tractor dealership with my dad to Greenville the next day when I was prompted to stop at the music store. "What do you need at the music store?" Daddy asked. "Some cheap music for my violin," I found myself saying. I hadn't known until that moment that I needed it. A voice in my head had told me. Daddy was mistakenly enthused that I loved playing the violin, and he eagerly drove there. I was prompted to buy the sheet music for Beethoven's Romance No. 2 in F major, Op. 50, and Paganini Anna by Milstein. I held my breath wondering if Daddy would examine each piece. Although he didn't play the violin, he would surely see that both pieces were quite complicated. I was used to hearing my inner guidance, but the voice that guided me to buy the sheet music was different. It was a male who said he was a master violinist and had lived in the 1700s. I was taken aback the first time he manipulated my body to obtain the correct posture and actions to accomplish the technique he was showing me. I told him to stop, which he did. It took a few days of working with him for me to achieve the vibration of being aware while allowing him some control for correcting my violin technique. At the time, I didn't know that experience was known as channeling. It was a unique way of learning, and I stuck with it because it fascinated me. By the time a month had gone by, I was quite familiar with gospel music and preaching. I was sure that I could step up to the podium and give a sermon of my own. I offered, but it was declined. They said that I should be older. The violinist at the church was enthused that I had practiced so much on my violin and had progressed so fast. I knew I was playing at a much higher level than before because of the master teachers I had channeled. I had been learning Paganini Anna by Milstein. It had 2 speeds, fast and faster, and it was quite complicated to play. I started to play it for the violinist at the church. He stopped me after the first movement and had me start again. This time he was filming me, and that felt really right, my being in the spotlight. My dad had warned me to behave while at church. People treated me okay there, and so when the pianist came back, he stepped back and let me play. My dad was glad. He said that I might stop being a heathen. Secretly, I thought that was really funny because I wasn't behaving like he wanted me to. I was secretly healing people in the congregation. It was there I had realized that I didn't have to touch people to heal them. I could imagine the light of healing around the room. Those that realized the healing imagined that the church or the pastor had healed them. I giggled a lot inside because I knew better. It was my private joke. One man had been diagnosed with a rather large tumor that needed removed. When the doctor sent him for tests to see how they would remove it, the tumor was no longer there. He was so grateful to the pastor in the church that he gave them a $10,000 donation. That had me thinking that I should advertise healing and charge people so Daddy could pay off the ranch. I knew he wouldn't have approved of the secret healing I was doing, let alone doing healing that was public knowledge. This was one of the many conflicting parts of my life.